Welcome to the Chop Chop podcast, everyone, where we explore the best of the culinary scenes of New Orleans. I'm Tony.
And I'm Jack, and that's right, Tony. We run around town. We try out some of our favorite restaurants, some of our favorite bars, and then we come back here to the Boot Crew studio off of Magazine Street here in New Orleans and share them with all you guys. So we have a pretty good little show today for y'all. We had some food at a great restaurant not long ago, and we had some pretty good entrees. Food this past week too. So what you had going on this past week? Catch us up.
Not much, man. We guys, after we recorded last week's episode, we went and took a viewer's pick, and we went and tried out Daddy Hotbirds.
Yeah, so we did I did a video on Southern's food truck, and they have really good fried chicken sandwich, hot sandwich or hot chicken sandwich, and somebody commented that we needed to go try out Daddy Hotbirds for a real Nashville
style.
Nashville style hot chicken sandwich. So Tony and I found them over at Pal's in the mid-city area, and man, that chicken sandwich was fire. Let me tell you.
One of our friends said, boy, when you make Ville Platte guy flinch, you're hot. And that is definitely true. They were good though.
They were really good. They had a few different spice levels. I think they had like the Metairie, the West Bank, the Uptown, the Downtown, different names like that. And I think I had the Downtown or the Uptown. I don't really remember which one I had, but that thing was fire.
And it was, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it was like, I don't know, maybe second or third to the hottest. Like, it wasn't like we got the hottest.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the hottest. And man, you felt it. I don't know how people can eat the hot one.
Right.
I love spicy food. You know this already.
Yeah.
And this thing set me back. Like, I ate probably half of it. It was delicious. Don't get me wrong. But they had also those little
I had
chicken thigh
sliders. I'm a big chicken thigh guy, and I kind of had the medium heat. I didn't go for like mild, but I didn't go for the craziness, and they were delicious. That I can eat all day.
Yeah, I bought some before I left.
You got some to go
for Shima, and so I ate some of those when I got home, and man, those were really good.
Those were really good, really well done. They were crispy too, like. And I don't know much about the Nashville hot, right? I've seen it made. I don't know, but I know there's an element of dipping the chicken into something.
Right
after it's fried, so they're dipping it in some form of liquid, and then they are powdering it with the chili, the hotness, or whatever.
Like the cayenne is what it tasted a lot like.
To me, to think about dipping something fried into liquid, you think it would be like soggy and all that, but it's not. It's. I know we're late on the Nashville hot game, right? Like this was famous, I don't know, 2 years ago, but these were phenomenal. Really, really good.
Yeah. If you're looking for some true Nashville hot, check out Daddy Hotbirds,
because he
brings the heat.
Right. And I will say this still, I still am a huge fan of Southern's. I know we went there because, a gentleman, commented on our post that you got to try this. It's better than Southern's. Yes. Daddy Hotbirds was phenomenal.
It was more the traditional Nashville hot style fried chicken sandwich. Southern's has a great fried chicken sandwich.
Southern's is I've gone to bars that are completely off the beaten path just to get Southern's fried chicken sandwich.
Exactly.
So I don't want to discredit Southern's here. They are phenomenal, but Daddy Hotbirds, you were also phenomenal.
And just spicy as
really,
hell.
Really good. But other than that, I didn't do much. I had a private event this weekend that I think went really well. As some of you know, I do private events on the side where I come in and I kind of cook in your kitchen, and it was fun. I had a blast. This group that I cooked for this weekend was young, was our age, and energetic, and it was more of a party atmosphere than a nice fancy dinner.
What kind of food did you cook for?
I kind of did a Spanish themed menu. It was fun. I did some tuna tostada.
Nice.
I did some tres leches for dessert. I did manchego potatoes au gratin with like a filet with chimichurri on it. We had some fun. It was a blast.
Now, when you do those, do you work with the client as far as like the menu goes, or are they like, hey chef, just whip us up something really
generally
good?
For the most part, they have no input and they don't want input, right? They're just like, whatever you think. And so I'll come up with a menu. I'll give it to them. If they're okay with it, it's done. It takes me, 10 minutes.
That's it. Just get the allergens down.
Yeah. I've only had maybe one client or two client that was like, look, I gotta have this. I gotta have this. Can you do it? And, of course, I'll make sure it happens.
Yeah, I mean, you're a master chef, man.
But generally, like this one, I did have one who was she wasn't a vegetarian by because she needed to be. It was kind of by choice.
Right.
But then she saw the menu and she's like, okay, I'm okay with these things. Just I can't have the steak. So I just had to tweak that. And I gave her some. She was like, if you could just get a nice piece of fish or something, we'll do that. So so I had a blast.
She didn't want to miss out on
she literally
food.
She saw the menu because the couple that hired me, like after the menu had already been done and like a day before the dinner, it was like, oh shit, I forgot one of my friends is a vegetarian. Man. And she was like, give me 5 minutes. And here I'm thinking like, oh man, this sucks. I got to come up with a whole new menu.
Cooking tofu now.
Yeah. And I'm like, I mean, look at me. You think I'm worried about a vegetarian meal, but no, she was like, look, she saw the menu. She's okay with it. Can you just change out the steak for a fish? And that was fun.
That's easy peasy there. Then.
Yeah. And it was fun. Like, I think this was the most fun I've had at a dinner so far, like a paying client. I know we did one as friends and that one was fun, but this is the most fun I've had on a paying client. I mean, we did shots throughout the dinner and it was a blast. So
that is some fun clients. Do you bring like help with you or you manage to
my wife. That's about it.
Family to
yeah, she comes to every single one and she does a phenomenal job. She is the best front of the house person I could imagine. I mean, my wife, she's all about the glitz and the glam and the service and she's really good. I appreciate the help. She takes a tremendous amount of weight off my plate. It allows me to just sit in the kitchen, do what I do best, and she takes care of the rest.
She kind of entertains some of the clients that she needs
her. She could talk to a brick wall if you asked her.
She can make the wall laugh or something.
Right. So it was fun. But other than that, I enjoyed Zocalo or Metairie Road as well, which is a good spot. It's I don't know if you remember this. I'm not sure if you were like living in the city at this time, but there used to be a restaurant on Metairie Road called Mazzato. That was my favorite restaurant ever.
I remember Mazzato.
Yeah, so I worked there. I was a ceviche chef there, and I loved it. It was a blast. But due to what I think the location, it closed.
Okay.
This Zocalo kind of fills that void.
Okay.
Really good margaritas.
That's important.
Same type of food. Yeah. And that was another thing Mazzato was phenomenal at was their drink menu was out of this world. And we used to go there before we'd go out, pre-out drinks and stuff like that. Where Zocalo kind of fills the Mazzato void in my life.
Okay. Good little spot to start off and go out.
It's a great one. So what about yourself?
I had some good margaritas too this past week. I went over to Santa Fe over on Esplanade.
Great margaritas.
Man, look, those margaritas were flowing.
Yes.
Very good, very good. Where else? I also had a birthday party over at the Chloe that I ended up going to.
Right. You're a frequent flyer over there.
Man, I know. I need like a card they can
a loyalty card.
A loyalty card so I can start getting some discounts or something. But we had that's the first time I really had dinner there.
Okay, how was it?
It was fantastic, man. I had the duck. It was great. Everybody enjoyed their dish. We had a big crowd of people. They sat us in this like special room. I think it was called the jewelry box. It was real cool and swanky, very Parisian-like. Had mirrors everywhere, nice paintings of birds and stuff on the wall. So cool spot. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Chloe. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. So
I have yet to go over there, and I passed it the other day, and it looks beautiful. It's old school New Orleans, but with a modern take on it.
Yep.
You
definitely has a modern twist to it.
Yeah, so. From the outside, it looks like classically New Orleans, like a beautiful St. Charles home. Some millionaire lived in back in the day.
Yeah, and they got a badass pool. You can go back there and enjoy and stuff. It's a cool space, man. It's a cool dinner, and like I said, that's the first time I had dinner there. I had lunch there previously, and that place was great too. So
that's good.
No complaints. They're doing their job over there for sure.
That's good. Well, I tell you what, we had a great lunch, man.
We did, man. We went to actually one of my favorite spots in the city. I used to live a few blocks from it, so I'd often frequent it whenever I lived in Lower Garden. Dude, some of the it's like you get there and you eat the food and you feel like you're eating a home cooked meal.
Yeah, absolutely. The place we're talking about, guys, is Gris Gris, and it's nothing new. I would say maybe 2 years,
couple years,
yeah 2-3 years old. but it still has the new feel. Like
Yeah.
it's still like things haven't gotten stagnant over there.
They stay busy,
Yeah,
man.
Eric
Stay
Cook,
busy.
who's the chef, Jack and I have known for a little bit. He is just phenomenal.
Yeah, he's an old school Marine.
Yeah,
And he's in there just working the kitchen, man.
Yeah.
He's doing his job, and he throws out some great dishes. And it's cool. The place is really cool because you can walk in and there's like seats around the kitchen.
yeah. There's probably, I don't know, 15, 16 seats around the kitchen, and that's all that's downstairs.
Yeah,
is
it's
the
called, I think
kitchen.
it's like the kitchen counter bar is what
Yep.
they call it, or something like that.
Everything else, the bar, the tables, everything else is upstairs.
Upstairs, that's right.
So downstairs is solely a hostess stand, the kitchen, and then the counter that you could sit at.
And that's my favorite place to sit.
I agree with that.
Because
Yeah.
you got Cook over there, Chef Cook over there, and he is entertaining. He gets involved with all the customers, all the patrons that are coming in. And you got any questions about any of the food? He straight up tells you this is it, this is that.
Who doesn't love that, right? Like, who doesn't love being able to sit there and eat and talk to the guy who created everything you're tasting?
Right, exactly.
Right? It's just like you think and I know it's two totally different restaurants, but you think of Commander's Palace, which is where Eric Cook also worked.
Came up from,
and started there. Yeah. You think of like their famous chef's table, right? Like you have to book, I don't know, somewhere close to a year in advance.
Wow. See, I've never sat in that spot.
Yeah, it's the hardest table in the city to get. You know, you just, not because it's exclusive. It's just, it's a long wait period.
Right.
And you do that so that you're in the kitchen, so that you can see what's going on, so that you can interact with the chef. And here you got Gris Gris. You know, you can walk right up, you know, and sit there. And Eric he's gonna entertain you.
Oh yeah,
you know?
he's definitely going to be entertaining.
And it's cool. It's just cool to see what's going on.
And you get to see all the dishes come together.
Yeah.
And he like does the final touches on
Yeah,
them.
he's
adds
sitting
a
at the
little bits
pass,
to
and
them.
you know the cooks who are all also phenomenal under him are putting kind of everything in front of him, and he's doing all the final touches. You know,
Right,
he
right.
touches every dish that walks out of that kitchen.
Yep.
Has his hands on it.
From apps to entrees to soups to desserts, everything.
This goes to show you like how he runs his kitchen too. Like he had a 4-man line, 5-man line, 2 of which looked like they were in training.
Yeah.
No one was working the pantry dessert area. For those people that aren't in the restaurant business, pantry is like your salads, your desserts, stuff like that. He was working that himself.
He was going back and forth. Yeah.
So he's working the pass, putting all the main dishes out, and knocking out all the salads, the desserts, and everything like that. Like that's, to me, like a guy who grew up in the kitchen, working kitchen lines, to see not only an executive chef, but an owner.
The owner, executive chef, everything.
Sitting there and busting his ass in the trenches with you. That's really cool to me.
Yeah, he's a seriously hard worker.
Yeah.
And a very talented chef at that too.
He deserves all the credit, all the accolades, everything that he gets, he deserves it all.
Now he has a Hogs for the Cause team too,
He
right?
does.
Or he cooks on one.
I can't remember the name of it, but I know he does. He's involved with hogs.
I think it's military themed is how they kind of designed their
Really?
booth area.
Yeah, I've seen him once or twice there.
Okay.
Never. I don't remember the name, but this place is phenomenal, guys.
Yeah, so they've got some great appetizers. Well, let's first get the drinks. So I of course ended up with the old fashioned as usual, the Gris Gris old fashioned. Solid choice on my part all the time, I feel like. But they have a lot of really great tasty drinks over there. You had the Galaxy lemonade, is that right?
Yeah, I stuck with my normal theme of something that doesn't look like I should be drinking, but it was really good. Guys, this when it came out, it looked like a snowball.
Yeah, it did. I was waiting for a flower to come out on it too.
It's got like a shaved ice dome that is above the rim of the glass. So it's sitting there, and it's pretty. It looked really good.
Looked very tasty.
It tasted better. I mean, it was good. It was a butterfly pea flower, whatever that is. I don't know.
Never heard that in my life. It sounds very exotic.
Correct. But it was butterfly pea flower vodka.
Okay.
And with a passion fruit puree. And that's it.
Yeah, and snowball.
Yeah.
Snowball
and
ice.
shaved ice.
Shaved ice, exactly.
It was really good. It was something that you could drink a lot of. It wasn't like really sweet, you know, and Perfect for summer. It's 100 degrees outside.
I feel like you needed one of those, those little straws that has the spoon on the end of it.
Yes.
So
that
you
would have
can-
been brilliant.
So you can eat the shaved ice at the
Yes,
same time.
Yeah.
And we might have to talk to him about that one.
I want to, before we go into the food, I also want to like give them credit, like especially during, I feel like COVID and during summer, they do some really good drinks, like really good drinks. Like they're frozen, last 4th of July, not the one that just passed, but they were doing like these frozen rocket pops. Do you remember those? Like they were.
I know a rocket pop, but I didn't know they were doing those.
They were doing
too.
frozen. It wasn't an actual rocket pop. It was just a daiquiri or margarita of some form that was red, white, and blue, and it came in a bag or a jug,
ready to go.
You just went and bought them like a half gallon, and it was phenomenal. Like so, kudos to, I don't know if Eric is handling their drinks.
Yeah, I don't know who their
whoever
director
is doing that is doing phenomenal.
Yeah,
so
keep up the good drinks, because I mean that goes hand in hand here in
It
New
does,
Orleans too.
yeah.
So
not having a they go hand in hand. If you don't have a good bar with good food, like something's missing, and
It's
then
off
vice
balance.
versa.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have if you don't have good food, we have a great bar. It's like, man, I don't know, this would be great, but if you got both, you're doing a very good job.
Gris Gris got both too.
Yeah.
So
onto the apps. We had some phenomenal apps.
we did have some, and we had, you'll find an app on their menu that you normally don't find at a lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
I grew up eating them, being from, Cajun country, Gulf
Yep.
Platte, Louisiana, in that area, Acadiana area. But we had some chicken gizzard griots,
Yes.
which was
Phenomenal. Guys, I cook with gizzards a lot in a few different Cajun dishes. They use it a lot, like Jack said. But I'm not normally one to order gizzards at a restaurant.
Right.
But these were phenomenal. They were really good. I don't know if it's on the menu that said that they were sous vide.
Yeah, because they're pretty tender for some gizzards.
Very tender.
Either that or they were like slow cooked for. Well, I mean that's what
that's what
sous
sous
vide
vide is.
Slow cooked for a long time.
They were good. Really good.
Yeah, and then they sat on. It had a nice gravy from that they created, and it sat on a bed of grits. So it was a nice combination, man.
Really, I would go back. It's something I wouldn't have ordered.
Right.
But when you said it, I was like, yeah, sure, let's try it. Yeah, and I'm glad you did.
The couple next to us was like, what is that? And they had already ordered their appetizers, and we told them, and the guy was like, oh man, I wish I would have ordered that. And his wife or girlfriend or whatever she was, I don't think she was too keen on it, but I think after she saw us polish off the plate, she was like, those might have been the one to order.
They were really good. I think even someone who's not from the South would enjoy that. Like, I think, some people would look at that and be like, I'm not ordering that. Like, it's not happening. But if you blindfolded them and then had them try it, I mean, they were really good.
I mean, that's what, we had to do that to my brother sometimes as a kid. Just not tell him what it was. Just go ahead and eat it.
Yeah. Growing up, and it may have kind of led to my culinary choice, but growing up, my mom was like, you must try every single thing once.
See, I like that attitude.
She was like, if you try it and then tell me you hate it, then you'll never have to try it again.
That's right. It's not just taste.
Yeah. But she's like, you got to try everything once. And I did. And it's funny. She talks about like, peas, right? She was like, I made you try peas. My mom hates peas with a passion. And I ended up loving them. And she was like, damn, I really wish you would have said I didn't like that one.
So wait, after you tried them the first time, she ever cooked them for you again?
Yeah.
Really? Even though she didn't like them?
Yeah, she hates them, but she knows I love them. So
trying to get them veggies in you.
Correct. Yeah. But it's a dish that I would definitely not have ordered going into it. But now I don't know if I'll go there and not order it.
Yeah, it was a good dish. So, and then you had
I had a couple of their chicken and sausage gumbo, which Jack and I talked about this. When it comes to gumbo, I am not a seafood gumbo fan. I'm not talking bad about any seafood gumbo cook. It's not my thing.
Yeah, same here. I think my thing is I just grew up on chicken and sausage gumbo. Like that was our thing, I didn't really have seafood gumbo until I moved to LSU.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and started having
it. Seafood is not a Ville Plainte thing?
We don't do
or not often?
Never in my life have my parents cooked the seafood gumbo in Ville Plainte.
Oh, okay.
Not that I can ever remember.
I guess, is that maybe because it's more centrally located in Louisiana?
I think so, yeah. So we rely more on,
right.
I mean, traditionally the Cajun culture and the food, the cuisine and everything kind of relied more on the produce or whatever we could grow in the backyard, whatever
Right.
we could farm raise and things
Okay.
like that. And it's, you're not
Makes
gonna
sense.
you're not gonna farm too much seafood in the
Right.
prairie lands of,
Yeah.
of Louisiana.
Yeah, but this gumbo was good. It had a great like dark roux traditional gumbo. That was phenomenal. No fancy, bullshit. It was great chicken. Probably I think all of the meat in mine was I had some white and dark meat.
Yeah, nice mix.
But and then good sausage. It was good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Again, something I would order every time I go there.
Another great app that we didn't have that they have there is the BLT, the Oyster BLT.
Yeah, guys, this is an app that Jack and I have had several times.
So we didn't even have to order.
We didn't need to order it.
We know about it already.
It is a beautiful play on a BLT. But it's oysters, fried oysters,
yeah.
Pork belly,
Mm-hmm.
and a tomato jam.
Right.
Just on a plate, and it comes with arugula.
Right.
On top,
Mm-hmm.
and then what was the vinaigrette he said he had?
Oh man,
Cane sugar.
It was a cane vinaigrette, or cane vinegar is what it's
Yeah.
called. So it's like a sweet vinegar.
Yes.
And it kind of tops off the whole dish
To give it that acidy flavor. It was.
Yeah. But if you get a full bite, if you get the oyster bite, you get the pork in there, the pork belly in there, and you get the tomato all mixed together in one bite. Oh, it's
Yeah,
heaven.
I tell people all the time, a chef that I love to follow. He's a New York chef, Frank Pisano. His tagline is "Build the bite." Right? Like,
Oh yeah.
he says, the chef put it on the plate for a reason.
So
So
it should be all one bite.
and yeah, so like when you think about that dish, that's something like get an oyster, get the jam, get the pork belly, and make sure you get the arugula. Make sure you get it on one bite and then taste it.
Yep.
Right? Because it's all on there for a reason.
Yeah, it's all real
Right.
simple ingredients, but man, it's like an explosion of flavor
Yeah.
that you
Really
get,
good.
and it all complements each other. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. So
I do for private gigs, I do a pork belly and oyster dish that everyone loves. I think it's just two things that like you'd never think would go together.
right.
But for some reason I do mine a little different. I toss the pork belly in like a gastrique, like a raspberry gastrique. But it's two things that I love together. Are really, really good. And he does it probably the best I've ever had.
I feel like when Gris Gris first opened, I feel like I remember having a pork belly watermelon dish at some point in time. We might have to ask Eric
I kind of
about
agree
that.
with you on that. I think I did have that at some point.
I think it was like a slice of watermelon, then it had like pork belly sitting on top of it.
Maybe.
I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, pork belly can go great with all types of stuff. So
Absolutely.
I'm
But
a huge fan.
it's good. And then, moving on to the entrees, we had two entrees that were top notch. Just
Man.
really one super, 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 super healthy.
These two entrees were totally opposite
And
of
then-
each other.
The other was nowhere near healthy. Like you
No.
couldn't even put the word health anywhere near that plate.
I mean, the only healthy part about that plate was that it puts you to sleep,
Right.
so you can get
You
some
get
rest.
8 hours of sleep after. It's just but we started with the cast iron seared fish. And today he was using swordfish.
Yep, had a nice little thick, meaty type
Yeah.
texture to it,
And
seared perfectly.
Yeah, it was. I told Jack while we were eating it, I am, for the most part, a guy that will never order fish at a restaurant.
Mhm.
It's something that just I don't know. I'd rather something else, honestly. But we got this, and it was incredible.
Yeah,
Like really good.
Yeah, it was sitting on a bed of like zucchini and squash,
Zucchini, squash, tomatoes.
It was it all worked together really well.
It was done very similar to how I would do like a fillet, right? Like it was.
Mhm.
First off, it was done in a cast iron skillet, right? Which what comes bad out of a cast iron skillet?
Unless you burn it, nothing.
Right. And then it was shaped, perfectly. He said he uses the loin, right? So
Right.
which is the most tender part of the fish, shaped just like a fillet, seared on both sides beautifully, like
Mhm.
not a burnt, but right there,
Close to
just
it.
close to it. And then
Get
this,
that little crunch that you're looking for.
this beautiful butter sauce that was it was really good.
Yeah, it was definitely treated like a steak, and I
Mhm.
mean that. I think that's the best way to treat some swordfish. So
Yeah, really
it was
good.
really
And then
solid.
And then we went to one of my favorite dishes I've ever had here, entree wise. I actually went 2 weeks ago, hung over as all hell to go get this dish. But they didn't have a table available for like 4 hours. So I had to go get something else to just put in my stomach. But we had what they call it the open face pot roast. And it is unbelievable, guys. It's the base of it is just 2 pieces of Texas toast. And then on top of that is homemade mashed potatoes, like your grandma cooked them. Yeah, like
for sure.
Really, really good mashed potatoes. And then on top,
it's like the largest pile of pork of roast you could possibly put on top of these 2 pieces.
Gris style too, which is my favorite. You know, just that shredded, just slow cooked for forever. You know, it's just
falling apart. God.
So good.
Yeah, all messy and everything. It was, I mean, it's just a big pile of meat.
Guys, you're going to have to check our Instagram. You know, when he turned around from the pass and we could see it, I was just like, that is a coma on a plate.
He started laughing. He started laughing so hard at our reaction when we saw it.
I was like, "How? We're never going to finish it," and we didn't. We didn't finish it.
No, we didn't. I got it. It's back in my office. I'm going to eat that tomorrow for lunch.
Yeah, it was just, guys. It's really, really good. It is. It's comfort food at its finest.
Definitely so.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it feel like he brought a lot of recipes that he cooks at home.
Yeah.
I mean, even one of the dishes is called his mom's dumplings.
Dumplings, yeah.
You know, and I've had that one in the past, and man, it was phenomenal as well. But all these dishes and recipes seems like he brings these straight from home, and he's like, "Hey guys, this is what I do best. It's what I do at home and feed my family with. I'm gonna feed you guys with it too."
Yeah,
it was all good.
That pot roast is just it's unbelievable. I mean, I grew up on my favorite dish, and I joke with my mom all the time. Like if I was dying tomorrow, right, and I had one last meal, it would be my mom's pot roast and mashed potatoes.
Right.
So like I go into ordering this with a little bias, right? Because it is one of my favorite dishes. And his is the closest to my mom's I've ever seen. You know, it is that Gris style, which to me brings a whole new layer to roast beef, right? Like some people think of like roast beef po' boys and that, and they think of like the slices of the shiny roast beef sometimes, you know, and it can be kind of gross,
kind of dry sometimes.
Yeah, kind of dry.
Cook it well or not.
When you do Gris style, you know, it's just sitting in its own juices, cooking for forever.
I tell you what, man, it put me in a food coma too.
Yeah,
I got back to my office and I was like, man, I got to get some caffeine in because
it was a rough like hour after lunch.
It really was. I mean, I'm not complaining though. My stomach and my taste buds are super happy. So.
Absolutely. And then to make it even worse, after we tried to devour this giant mountain of beef.
Yeah. First off, we devoured all the fish. There was nothing left.
Yeah, the fish was gone. I'm glad we started with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it was kind of like a clean palate. It was great. It was really good. And then we hit ourselves with the roast beef.
It was like a brick.
But then Eric comes and is like, well, whether you guys like it or not, you're getting a bread pudding.
Oh yeah.
It was just like the worst like combination after, because I was just like, man, I got to eat this bread pudding because it looks phenomenal.
And it was, man. It came out nice little chunk bread pudding topped with some ice cream.
And then caramel, and then I don't want to say white chocolate, but it was something.
Let me see. I'll try and find it for us.
Some type of it may have been white chocolate. A little drizzle on the plate of something similar to that. But boy, guys, it was really good. It was, again, home cooked. It was like your grandma made it.
Yeah, it was had the perfect flavor, the perfect texture, everything. It was I mean, bread pudding in general is just a phenomenal dish, and Chef Cook just turned this one up and adds a nice really little finishing to the food coma we were already in.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It had a lot of like a strong cinnamon and nutmeg flavor. The ice cream, I'm not sure if he made that from scratch or not, but it was good. It tasted like it did.
Did it? Okay.
And it was really good. Something I would order again in anytime I go there.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, Gris Gris is top notch spot, man. Chef Cook is just dishing it out over there, and like I said, it's like home cooked meals that he's dishing. So
you know, I heard
it's nice and comfortable.
One of Jack and I's mutual friends, Andrew, his dad won a chef's experience at an auction,
like a charity.
Yeah, I think it was at like a Ducks Unlimited banquet or one of those outdoor events.
Yeah, because Chef is pretty outdoorsy too.
He is, yeah, and he got to go fishing with Chef Eric, and after they went fishing, they took the fish they caught and went to the restaurant and chef cooked that fish in front of them.
Wow.
And like, talk about an experience. That's awesome.
So you go out. I wonder if he took him out on his boat.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know, but I know the big thing, the big attraction of dinner that night, and it's actually on his website. I just looked at it.
Yeah, I've had this dish.
Is this redfish coubillon?
Yeah,
which anyone from the South loves redfish coubillon, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's the one, I think, isn't that the one where he serves? It's the whole.
It's the
fish.
Entire fish, head on, everything, entire fish, kind of wrapped around the plate.
Yeah, it looks like it's still alive.
Yeah, and it is good. I wish I could have had that.
Yeah, it wasn't on today's menu. Maybe they don't serve it for lunch, I'm assuming.
I would imagine, yeah, that's a dinner spot.
Man, that would have put us even into a bigger food coma.
Man, had I done that, I would have gone to bed right after. Like, no going out for drinks after, no nothing, just go to sleep.
The rest of the day would have been shot. Just wake me up tomorrow morning for work.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but all in all, guys, I know Gris Gris is not a new spot to the city, but if you haven't been yet, you got to go.
Definitely,
it's phenomenal.
Definitely check it out.
And try your hardest to sit downstairs with chef. It's just, it makes the experience so much better.
Yeah, I think you can get on Resi and make your reservations, and you can pick where you want to sit. So just make sure whenever you're doing that, you choose kitchen counter.
Yeah,
and get the full experience of Gris Gris.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah,
that is for sure.
For sure, no doubt. So check out Gris Gris, man, over on Magazine Street. Fantastic stuff. So
and just a little bit of a sneak peek. He does have something in the works. I'm not going to go any further than that, but he did let us know a little bit that he's got something in the works, which I am super excited about.
Yeah, he's got something new coming up, and we're not exactly sure what, but whatever chef
and I know
we're looking forward to it for sure.
It's set to be open this year.
Yep, sometime this year.
Sometime this year. I'm not exactly sure when. God knows on construction and all that. I'm sure that can all back things up, but it's just exciting to hear that he's got something new coming to the city because the city needs it.
Yeah, and of course, we'll be one of the first ones to try and check it out, and we'll let you guys know about it for sure.
So, any plans this weekend? I know we got a dinner tomorrow that I'm excited for.
We do. So it's Shima's birthday tomorrow, and we got a nice group together, and we rented out the restaurant Nagomi.
Yep.
And we've both been there once before, and it's a omakase style Japanese restaurant.
Yep.
And man, there's no menu. You just tell them how much you want to spend for the food per person.
Yep.
And normally I think it's $75 a person, but if you want to spend more, you can let them know.
Yeah.
And they just put out some of the best fish.
I got lucky enough mid-COVID to get 2 spots. And when I mean lucky, like Christina's friends couldn't make their reservation and asked us if we wanted to take it. And talk about one of the greatest meals I've had here. I mean, it was just really, really good. I love restaurants that don't have menus, right? Like,
just feed
give me your money and we're going to feed you, and I love that. That's awesome to me. And for someone like my wife, who I don't want to say she's a picky eater, but there are some things that she's not going to eat.
Right.
And we went through, 12 courses or so, and she loved every single thing she ate,
Well, the good thing is if there's something that she doesn't like, you get to eat it.
Absolutely. And guys, like the thing with this too, like which makes it even cooler, several things. One, they're only open 3 days a week.
Yep. And you have to book way in advance.
Correct. 2, they only seat, 18 to 20 people a night.
Yeah, if you rent out the whole place, you get 14 seats.
Right.
That's the whole restaurant.
And that's with COVID restrictions still. Because I know before COVID, I think it was like 24 or something.
Well, I think it's more on a regular night because when it's 14 or when you rent out the whole place, you only sit at the sushi bar.
Okay.
So you're surrounding the sushi the chef Kaz.
The last time I was there, I sat at a table. So
they have tables behind you.
Yes, correct.
But if you bring 14 people,
awesome.
It's all yours, and you get to decide. Like if you want to add caviar to your dishes, you just let them know a few days in advance, and they'll throw that into the menu.
God, that's awesome.
Like they just whip it up. And another thing that you can do over there is you can pay. I don't know what it is, the cost, but you can tell them to just bring sake. Yeah. Like they just don't stop serving sake. If your shot glass or your glass is sitting on top of the sushi bar, they continually fill it up with sake.
Sounds awesome.
The whole time.
Yeah.
We did that last time, and the crowd was lit.
I bet. And like another thing, guys, like it's only, besides the guests eating, there's only 2 people running the entire show. When I'm talking like Chef Kaz is doing all the food, and then Elijah is talking, serving you, cleaning up, cleaning dishes, checking you out, doing everything, sweeping, whatever.
He's doing it all. He's doing it all.
Yeah, DJ. I forgot. Yeah, controlling the music. So there's literally only 2 people in the place besides customers, and they are doing an excellent job.
Phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night. So it's going to be a good time. We'll update you guys next week.
I'm very excited. So and check out the Chop Shop podcast. I'm sure we're going to post at least a few things.
Definitely check out our Instagram, Chop Chop NOLA, and you'll see all the great dishes that we've had and what we might not always talk about on the thing, but we always try to post some food pics on there. So
absolutely. Well, guys, we appreciate you checking in. Episode 11 too. This
is episode 12.
12.
Yeah,
12.
You're losing count, man.
I am. That's a good thing, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So
I think they'll just start all kind of blending together, and we won't know what episode we're on
at
some point in time.
Well, we appreciate you guys listening. Please, if you have any suggestions, just like last week, if you send us something, we're gonna go try it. So check out Chop Chop NOLA on Instagram, Chop Chop NOLA on Twitter. You can also send it to either one of our personal pages or Boot Crew Media.
Yep. And that's Chop Chop like Chopatulas.
Yep. And we'd love to hear you guys' suggestions. Jack and I are in this world, but we definitely are not always in the know. So there's definitely restaurants we haven't heard of before. So
and we like the ones that we don't know about too.
Absolutely.
If it's a hidden gem, we definitely want to know about it. So
well, guys, thank y'all. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank y'all for listening. Y'all keep eating, New Orleans.
Keep eating, guys. Thanks.